Have you ever stopped to think about what it actually takes to tame one of nature's most powerful forces? Like a massive river? Well, today, we're diving into the story of a structure that did exactly that. A true titan of engineering built by a nation that was just finding its feet.
I want you to just look at this number for a second. Almost 26 kilometers. Can you even picture that? I mean, that's like running more than half a marathon in a perfectly straight line. Now, what if I told you that was the length of a single man-made structure?
Yep, that incredible distance is the total length of the Hirakud Dam in India. And that, my friends, makes it one of the longest dams on the entire planet. An absolute giant, built out of nothing but earth and concrete.
So let's really get into it. What is this colossal structure? We're going to dig into its unbelievable scale and really understand why this dam is such a huge deal, a true national icon.
Okay, so what is it exactly? The Hirakud is what engineers call a composite dam. And that just means it's not made of one single thing. It's this massive, strategic combination of earth, concrete, and masonry, all working together to hold back the mighty Mahanadi River in the state of Odisha.
But you know, the story of this dam is so much more than just an engineering feat. It's really about history. Its construction was a bold, powerful statement from a young, newly independent nation, basically telling the world it was ready to build its own future.
And make no mistake, this wasn't just another building project. It was a symbol of progress. It was one of the very first massive, multi-purpose projects that a free India took on. It was literally a dream being built out of concrete and steel. And that dream? It took 2 whole decades to come to life. The journey actually started just before independence, in 1946. A huge moment came in '48 when Prime Minister Nehru himself placed the first bit of concrete. Then, it was inaugurated in '57, but it wasn't until 1966 that it finally hit full power. I mean, talk about a construction marathon.
So you might be asking, why go to all that trouble? Why spend 20 years building this thing? Well, because the Hirakud was designed from day one to be so much more than just a wall. It was created to serve 4 absolutely critical, life-changing functions for the entire region.
So here's the four-fold punch. First, it was about flood control, taming the wild and often devastating floods of the Mahanadi Delta. Second, it provided irrigation for crops all year round. Third, it generated a ton of clean hydropower. And fourth, it secured a steady water supply for people and for industries. It wasn't just an improvement, it was a total game changer.
Let's just pause for a second and let these numbers sink in. It stands over 60 meters tall. It creates a reservoir behind it that covers a staggering 743 square kilometers. But get this. Look at the discharge capacity. It can release over 42,000 cubic meters of water every single second. That is a mind-boggling amount of power to have under control.
And who gets to benefit from all this power and planning? Pretty much everyone. Farmers get the water they need. People living downstream in the delta are finally safe from floods. The whole region gets electricity from the grid. And of course, local communities get a reliable source of water. It's truly a lifeline with many, many threads.
But here's the thing. After more than 60 years of working non-stop, this mighty giant is, well, it's starting to show its age. And the challenges it's facing today are a whole lot different from the ones it was originally built to solve.
The difference between then and now is pretty stark. You know, its original massive water capacity has been shrinking because of decades of silt building up. The structure, once brand new and perfect, is now showing signs of wear, even cracks. And let's be honest, a design from the 20th century is now grappling with the intense pressures of the 21st.
And the number one enemy here is something called siltation. All that means is that over the years, tons and tons of sediment, silt, sand, soil have washed down the river and settled at the bottom of the reservoir. It's basically filling it up from the bottom, which, as you can see, has seriously reduced its ability to hold water. And that directly impacts everything from flood control to water storage.
But this story is far from over. Engineers are now looking at modern, cutting-edge solutions to help this monumental structure get ready for the future. We're talking about re-engineering a giant for a whole new century.
Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. I mean, think about it. When a structure is this enormous, this complex, and this critically important to so many people, how on earth do you even begin to fix it?
Well, the answer actually has a name. It's called DRI-3.
It stands for the Dam Rehabilitation and Improvement Project, and it's this huge, ambitious initiative designed specifically to strengthen, modernize, and extend the life of essential structures, just like the Hirakud.
And the plan is pretty comprehensive. First, they're going to build completely new spillways. This is a massive safety upgrade to handle the kind of extreme floods we're seeing more of. They're also automating the gate operations to make water management way more efficient and precise. And finally, they're using amazing modern tech like underwater robots and aerial drones to survey the dam's health in ways they never could before.
Look, the Hirakud Dam was an absolute triumph of 20th century vision and engineering, no doubt about it. But the ultimate question still hangs in the air. With all this new technology and a new plan, can this aging marvel be successfully upgraded to meet the completely new challenges of the 21st century? The future of an entire region really depends on the answer.